What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Coach Magali. If this is your first time here, thanks for being here. I hope you enjoy. And over here in my corner of the internet, we talk all things about fitness, nutrition, health, debunking all of the BS, and giving you what you actually need to know to achieve the goals that you have. So if you're into that sort of content, please consider subscribing, liking the video, the whole thing. And without further ado, let's get right into the video. So the first myth that I want to cover is needing to activate the glutes or insert any other muscle. And this phrase became super popular over the last few years, especially on social media. Your muscles don't need to be turned on and activated. They are active when you're walking into the gym. They are active when you're putting your shoes on. Activation is not this special magical process that requires a very specific trigger or a button you press. And I will be the first to admit, I fell for this myth years ago. Ultimately, what they're trying to say is that you need to warm up your muscles to get them properly primed for the workout so that they can grow better, you can perform better, and just overall benefit more. There's truth to that. You should be warming up. You should be preparing yourself, especially mentally, because mental energy is a huge thing. Doing the workouts that make you feel a little bit looser in tighter areas, workouts that make you feel warmed up and excited. But at the same time, there's no need to activate anything and spend half an hour doing random kickbacks or lateral raises or anything to warm up the muscles. Just choose a couple of things that make you feel good, that make you feel prepared. Get those done, warm up a little bit, and then get right into the first exercise of the day. Don't spend too much time trying to perfect the warm-up routine that you overexhaust yourself before the actual first exercise starts, because then you're going to stunt your performance because you're already tired. And believe it or not, doing 50,000 kickbacks or 50,000 lateral raises, even if it's lighter weight, it's still going to tire you out. It's still working out. Take a couple minutes, do the things that make you feel prepped and primed for the workout, but don't overdo it by doing this insane activation exercise routine that doesn't really do anything and will just tire you out for no reason. No more activation stuff, no more turning things on, just do things that make you feel good and get right to work. And speaking of doing a bunch of different lighter weight exercises, the idea that you need to do lighter weight, higher reps to really build muscle. That low reps and heavy weight is just to build strength, and that the lower weight, higher reps is where the real building comes in. That's where you should be focusing the most of your energy. That's like sets of 15, sets of 20, sets of 30, sets of 40, and above and beyond. And while doing that, those rep ranges do matter and they do impact muscle growth and they are necessary sometimes, you shouldn't be focusing only on doing that, because muscle grows with mechanical tension, and mechanical tension comes from loading the muscle. And how do you load the muscle? You put weight on it. You put a lot of weight on it. And unfortunately, because we're not perfect, you can't do a lot of reps with a lot of weight. You have to do lower reps, but really push that intensity with the weight. And that's a big part of growing muscle. Growing your quads, growing your glutes, growing your back, your whatever muscle it is that you're working on. We have to incorporate a lot of heavy loading and pushing weight and intensity that way versus just doing a bunch of reps and a bunch of low light stuff. There's a time and a place for stuff like that, and it's not completely useless, and it sometimes makes training fun, which is important, but it shouldn't be the meat of your workouts. The meat of your workouts is heavy, strong lifts, heavy leg presses, heavy split squats, heavy deadlifts, hip thrusts, shoulder presses, chest presses, heavy stuff. We're talking 5 to 8 rep range where you're really pushing the intensity. By that 8th rep, you can't physically lift that weight anymore because you will fail. That's where you want the majority of your energy to go to. So start your workout with those heavy lifts and finish your workout with your kickbacks and your lateral raises and your bicep curls. The more isolated stuff, that you can push higher reps, low weight. Again, the majority of your workout should be on the heavier side, intentionally pushing that max capacity for that muscle. Another gym myth that we should all stop listening to: trusting the person with the best physique that they know what they're doing and they have the best advice. This is wrong and not accurate for so many reasons. One, that person may not be fully disclosing what they're doing in terms of enhancements, performance enhancing drugs, surgery, different things that they don't mention. Just because someone looks good and does something that works for them, it does not mean that it's going to work for you. And why this myth needs to die is that so many people look at a routine on Instagram or on YouTube or something, take it at face value and replicate it, and then they're left wondering, why don't I see the same results that she has and she looks phenomenal? Your anatomy is different and you may be doing the workout she's doing, but you need to tweak it a little bit to fit your structure. And that's one of the main things that I do with my clients, is I really assess them and watch them and see what things are they doing that don't necessarily suit their body type or their structure or their preferences, and fix that according to what they can do and what their body allows them to do. But not everybody's going to be able to pick that routine and just do it. Just because that person looks great and it worked for them, it doesn't mean that it's going to apply to all of you and give you the same results. So instead of looking at a person and thinking, well, I need to follow them because they look great, so I have to do the same thing they're doing, and possibly setting yourself up for failure, take the stuff that they're doing that feels good to you and that you feel like will get you progress, and then from there tweak and adjust based on your preferences and your goals. Now, if you have no idea what you're doing, sure, following something for a little while will give you some kind of groundwork to work from, but eventually you have to put in the work to figure out what is best for you, and that sometimes involves a professional, and that's what I do. So I recommend starting with a professional at first to really get to know your body. If you've been working out for a few years and you're not really getting anywhere, you're not really seeing progress anymore, it's always useful to have a second pair of eyes looking at you and watching you to point out the weaknesses and the things that you can improve. But beside the point, just because someone looks great doesn't mean that what they're doing is best for you. You shouldn't just take everything they say and follow it exactly, because you may be putting yourself in a position that at best you won't see results, at worst you could get hurt. Fourth myth, not doing cardio because you think it's going to cause you to lose your gains. This one hurts because I fell for it too. You know, I feel you. Unless you're running 7 to 15 miles every single day at a very high intensity, twice a day, you're not going to lose any muscle. Cardio is good for your endurance. It's good for your heart health. It helps to burn off some extra calories. Now, you shouldn't use cardio just to burn off calories, but it's a great addition in your weekly routine to keep you at a healthy weight, not to mention all of the health benefits that it has. Another thing that it's useful for and that people don't really understand is that lifting weights does involve the cardiovascular system, much less than, endurance running or biking, but it does. Being conditioned and being able to have a lot of stress on your heart for a long period of time is going to help you lift better. And that's something that people don't really understand, because they think, oh, it's just about lifting, no cardio because I'm going to lose all my gains. No, obviously the majority of your workouts should be strength training along with a well-balanced diet that has the calories that you need to eat, but it doesn't mean ignore cardio and never do it and it's useless and in fact going to hurt you. In fact, it's hurting you not to do it, and it's good for you, and there's so many benefits, and it's something that I wish everybody did because it's so good for you. Next myth that I still see is the fact that you need to shock your muscles and do something different all the time to spice it up and get it to start producing results again. Let me just set the record straight here. The reason why most people don't see results and why they start getting frustrated is because they're not consistent. So they do an inconsistent routine for a few weeks. They don't see the results that they want, understandably so, but then they think, oh, it's because I haven't changed it up in a bit, so they change it all up, and then again they're like, wait, they'll see a little bit of benefit from that short term, but then inevitably, because they're inconsistent, that program also fails. They're not consistent in their routine. They don't do things long enough to see the results. I'm talking 4 months, 5 months, 7 months, a year, the length of time to really see something happen. When you're in it for 3-4 weeks and things haven't really moved, you're like, whoa, I have to change everything up and do all these different things. No, yes, there may be some tweaks that you need to be making. I'm pretty sure it's probably your diet, but it doesn't mean give up the plan, start from scratch, do it all over, invent a whole new thing, and start again. How you figure this out is if it's been 4 weeks and you haven't seen a single change in your weight, in your measurements, in your performance, in your strength, anything, nothing has improved, then I would suggest that you really take a hard look at your consistency first and foremost. If you've been consistent week after week, you're eating how you're supposed to be eating, you're recovering, and you're still not seeing results, then I would suggest then thinking about switching things up, and not until you reach that point where you've been consistent for 4 weeks without fail. That's when you can take a look and see, okay, what needs to change. But until you reach that point, do not start switching things up. You're not going to get anywhere. You're not going to make progress. Building strength, building muscle, building health comes from doing the same thing over and over, getting really good at it, and then progressing from there, not changing things up every few weeks. So take a hard look at your consistency. Be honest with yourself. And if you're struggling, get help from a professional or get some accountability. But don't switch things around for no reason. And lastly, this is especially for my ladies out there, thinking that you need to do different exercises to lose weight and tone your body versus building muscle and bulking. So exercise has been misunderstood for so many years as this tool that you can manipulate to help you lose weight. Working out and burning off calories absolutely helps to lose weight, but it doesn't burn a lot of calories. It's very little. It's very, very little. So People have this belief that, oh, if I do a lot more lower weight high rep and a lot more cardio and a lot more endurance, I'm going to lose more body fat. If I want to build muscle and get stronger, I just have to do heavy, lower reps, higher weight. And then they're two different extremes. But the reality is, what workouts you do to lose weight are the same workouts you're going to do to bulk up, because ultimately the goal is to build muscle, get stronger, and over time get healthier. And that comes from over time getting stronger and stronger. The losing weight part comes from your diet and being in a calorie deficit and ensuring that your nutrient needs are matching what you're burning off in a day. And that has nothing to do with working out. So whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to gain weight, whether you're trying to maintain weight, whatever the goals that you have are, you want to be doing the same workouts, just consistently getting stronger over time. When you're losing weight, you might have a little less energy, so maybe you can't go as heavy, but you still can go heavy. When you're heavier and you're building muscle and you're gaining weight, then you're going to be a little bit stronger, things are going to be a little bit easier, but ultimately you're not changing, you're not doing a whole separate routine here and a whole separate routine there. It's the same stuff, and what's actually changing and adjusting is your diet. How many calories are you eating? How much protein? What are your carbs looking like? Is your water intake where it needs to be? Those are the things that are changing when we're trying to change our body weight and our body composition. Focus on getting strong, lifting mostly heavy weight with lower reps. Squats, deadlifts, bench, leg presses, split squats. Get really, really strong. And as you want to lose weight, then you monitor your calories, but you keep going in that direction. If you want to gain weight, then you add in calories, but you keep going in that direction. And over time, just keep getting stronger and stronger and mastering the basics. But there is no special weight loss routine for working out or a building muscle routine. It's all the same thing. It should be the same thing. It's just about monitoring and adjusting your diet and your calorie intake. Obviously, you guys, I'm sure there's more myths out there that I can bust and so many other things that we're all confused about. We're hearing different opinions. Very complicated sifting through all that and seeing what actually helps me, what actually works. But if you just focus on building basic strength with your deadlifts, with your squats, with your leg presses, start as basic as you need to, watch YouTube videos, hire a professional, get strong. Over time, work towards getting more and more stronger, more and more adjusted, better form, better performance. Keep your diet where it needs to be, eating the right foods, eating the right amount of foods, complementing that with good sleep. Give it 6 months to a year, you're going to be a totally different person. But you have to stop getting distracted with the new exercise or the new this or the new that. Stay focused, and eventually you're going to get to the results that you want. I hope that this helped clear some things up for you guys. If you have any further questions about anything I mentioned, leave them in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed. Do not forget to subscribe, like the video, comment, and with that being said, I will see you guys in the next video.